following is brought to you by TaskJet, the future of task management. Who's tougher? The guy who caves easily to women who look appealing, even though their interior is ugly, or the guy who, gets an image, a glimpse of what his dream girl is going to be like, her hair, her skin, the way she interacts, how she stays poised, how hard she works, and then he fights for that every day. Doesn't see her, but doesn't cave, stays on the path, stays on the mission until he finds that girl. And I'm not going to lie to you, might be many that come close. They might have similar features, they might look alike, they might talk the same, they might come from a similar family background. But if you're a real man, you're not going to get involved beyond an interaction if it doesn't feel right. That's toughness. And it doesn't mean you're not going to make a mistake. Doesn't mean you're not going to stumble. But was your intent there? That's a different level of toughness. And it's intense training. Call it that. To get a glimpse and stay true to that before you get a woman or even see her. But it's preparing you, especially for when you're actually going to be with that woman. And some people may get the girl or the guy through deceit, through lies, through manipulation. They lie to themselves and to that person. But that's false light. And there's a price to pay if it's done that way. And unfortunately, the unfortunate part is that when you get a true glimpse, it ignites something inside you. But it could take weeks, months, it could take years for, this to come into fruition. But if you believe in it, then what? You have to stay true to it, you have to protect it, you have to fight for it. Because in order to get that dream person, you're going to have to theoretically be somewhat close to the equal and opposite. And there's a growth process that takes place. Men typically have to let go of their control and toughen up, and women have to let go of their cat-like tendencies, bad patterns that need to be corrected. And we want to enjoy physical intimacy, but if you know it's not the right thing to do, to carry on or even get involved in the first place, and we all struggle deeply with this, but if you get involved with the wrong person, you're going to do one of two things. You're either settling to stay with them, or you get out. But you don't get out without spiritual stains. And that's not really discussed. Spiritual stains, but it's true. And spiritual stains can be corrected. That's a process you probably wish to avoid, because there's a lot of work that goes into that. And you can ignore that spiritual element to it, but it'll come after you. Toughness is knowing what you want, but also making sure it's your purpose that was granted and then going after it at the right time. And that idea of what you want will change over time. Because if you're too caught up on the idea, you're probably going to turn away good advice from people who are genuinely actually pointing you in the right direction. Because part of growing is adapting and letting go of boyish, girlish desires, but the premise of staying true to what's right. Not to veer from that just because it's lonely or you're going to experience some pain. That's what you have to focus on, because love is not something to play with. It's not an experiment, like some people will make you believe. Because what is pain from a breakup? It's an indicator. To avoid that pain, to avoid getting involved with the wrong person. Hopefully you learn that lesson. You learn from it that way. And the fact that girls get jealous when you're with other pretty girls, that's weakness. Just because it feels pleasurable at that time, you're feeding into the machine. You're feeding into ego. And if you feed into ego constantly, you're going to constantly be at effect to the world, to other people's reactions. You will be controlled. So instead of affecting the world, which is probably what you want to do, you're going to constantly be pulled in different directions. Just because of the feeling. You're going to be controlled by people just because they provoke you to act in a certain way. And instead of you owning your power and having approval from within because you developed it, you're going to constantly seek it from other people. And a self-respecting woman is not going to get attracted by you playing games. The girls with the ugly interior, they do. But a self-respecting man is not going to be around for you to come just when it's convenient, just because you get a feeling or a wave. And that doesn't mean that you don't take someone back if they're genuine, they're sorry, but you better have a tight guard on, because love is not a wave. Love is a commitment. And a relationship is not something you fiddle around with just because you want to end your loneliness, this warped concept. You know, do you want to end up in a world where your partner has been with a lot of other partners? I don't know, but I think most people would say no. And if this doesn't work out, you are hurting their future partner in more ways than you can imagine, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Now, you might be okay with your partner having been intimate with other people before you, and that's your prerogative. That's how you want to live your life. Most people would probably choose to be the only one that they're intimate with when you really love someone. And look, it's very tough to do that in reality, to wait 10, 20, 30 years for the love of your life to come along without being with somebody else, especially when, look, you don't really know, you're confused. But stop having your blinders on just because you want sex. Sex is stopping you. There is more power in transfer than you know, than you could possibly imagine when you exchange like that. And there's a guiding, intuition that knows whether someone is right for us. And if you have sex too soon, you are giving your power away. Energy builds. It grows. Manifesting and harnessing that energy will give you a glow. And if it's taken, and yes, it can be, then you gave away the power that you once had. So think twice, who you end up with, who you sleep with, who you're intimate with, because the ripple effects have consequences if it's not the one you're supposed to be with. This has been brought to you by TaskChat, the task management tool to simplify your life. TaskChatApp.com.